Winston Churchill. The maintenance of the British Empire was the objective of Sir Winston Churchill, who was born in 1870 and died in the year 1965. While ending the British Empire was the mission of Mahatma Gandhi, who was born an year earlier and died in the year 1948. Churchill had an illustrious pedigree, hailing from a powerful aristocratic family. Mahatma Gandhi was born in a middle class family. Gandhi's evolution was more extraordinary as he started off as a believer in the empire but then emerged as its greatest and strongest opponent. Churchill's views about India, the jewel in the crown, were influenced by his father, Lord Randolph. Randolph realized that India was the key to the glory of British nationhood. Randolph's endorsement of brutal imperialist control left an indelible imprint on his son Winston Churchill, who imbibed virtually everything that his father believed in. Winston believed sincerely, like his father, that the British rule of India was both essential and beneficial as it rescued India from ages of barbarism, tyranny, and internecine war. He was aware that without India, the empire would begin to collapse and Britain would suffer terrible losses. He did everything and with all means in his capacity to retain the empire. His faith in the British sense of justice and fair play remained intact. He stated categorically that loss of India would reduce Britain to the status of Portugal. Churchill divided the empire into two: the white colonies like Canada and Australia, and second, east of Suez. This framework remained with him throughout his life. He unhesitatingly proclaimed the superiority of Anglo-Saxons as compared to the Europeans. Except regarding India, he was remarkably flexible in his ideas. He was categorical that for colored people there would be no self-government. He rejected the idea of a transfer of power to India even when he was personally involved in such acts in South Africa and Ireland. Churchill preferred Muslims over Hindus. He did not question the partiality in recruiting more Muslims than Hindus in the armed forces. He was not bothered that a community which was just 20% of the population had a strength of 65% in the army, but the primary focal point was to use the Hindu Muslim division for perpetuating British rule in India. He considered Muslim leaders as an effective barrier to the Congress. He was friendly to several Muslims from Aga Khan to Jinnah. He was sanguine that Muslims would remain loyal to the Raj as they fought Turkey under the British flag during the First World War. Churchill regarded Gandhi and the Congress party with contempt and fear describing Gandhi as dangerous, a fanatic, and an ascetic. He and Gandhi first met on 28th November 1906 when he was the Under Secretary of State for the colonies and Gandhi was the spokesman for the rights of Indians in South Africa. Gandhi, along with his Muslim companion, made it clear that they were loyal subjects of the British government and felt they were entitled to all the basic rights as British subjects. As early as 1909, Churchill realized that a visionary like Gandhi had to be halted to save the British Empire in India. The promulgation of the Rowlatt Act and the massacre at Amritsar convinced Gandhi even more about the British intentions. Churchill called Lord Irwin's declaration to grant India eventual dominion status a crime. His opinion of Indian leaders was extremely poor, describing them as men of straw. On another occasion, Churchill directly attacked Gandhi, describing him as a seditious Middle Temple lawyer posing as a half-naked fakir. Gandhi was amused when he came to know about Churchill's venom against him. Gandhi's visit to London to attend the second Round Table Conference drew worldwide attention. The British media viewed it favorably. Many politicians and the public opinion were also supportive. Churchill, however, was of the view that Gandhi would replace the British Raj with a clique of Brahmins. He described Gandhi as a future dictator and accused him of planning a racial war. His intense hatred of Gandhi prevented him from rationally and logically analyzing Gandhi's role. As a gesture of conciliation, he invited G.D. Birla, a close supporter of Gandhi, for lunch. The meeting was amicable, with Churchill doing most of the talking. Birla wrote to Gandhi stating it was one of his most pleasant experiences. Putting aside his biting criticism of Gandhi, Churchill inquired about Gandhi, and when he was informed about Gandhi's Harijan campaigns, his reaction was overwhelmingly positive. Mr. Gandhi had gone very high in my esteem since he stood up for the untouchables. Churchill hoped India would still remain with the empire. Churchill's virulent attack on concessions to India alienated him from the mainstream of British politics, resulting in the decline of his political stock. He was extremely happy at the distrust between the Congress and the Muslim League. In the summer of 1940, both Churchill and Gandhi knew that they were facing the most serious challenges of their lives. Churchill's mission was first to stop Hitler's aggression and then defeat him. For Gandhi, it was an unprecedented opportunity to prove to his own people and the world the efficacy of non-violent satyagraha to compel the British to grant independence to India. Churchill, as a Prime Minister, delayed India's independence as long as he possibly could. During the first 2 years of the Second World War, Congress policy was to extract as many concessions as possible, but there was hardly any progress. The Japanese victories led to new anxieties. Gandhi opposed the Japanese entry into India, but he equally and vehemently opposed the continuation of the British rule with the added advantage the presence of American troops. Churchill had successfully created a special bond with Roosevelt, with the two signing the Atlantic Charter in 1941. The charter promised the right of self determination to all subjugated nations after the war. He was in a dilemma as he realized he would have to sign the charter in order to retain American friendship. Here too, he tried to restrict it by claiming that the charter was restricted to only the European countries conquered by Hitler and Stalin. Many others held that it applied to all nations, including India. In 1942, the Congress declared that Britain had no moral authority to rule India and their control of India was dependent on US support. Churchill was not bothered about Gandhi's hunger strike. He even asked the viceroy to check if the water that Gandhi drank was laced with glucose. Despite the viceroy's assurance, his vigilance towards Gandhi continued, referring to the latter as the old humbug. He did not publish a tribute nor express any regret when Gandhi was assassinated. However, he recognized the sublimity of Gandhi's action in right-torn Bihar and Noakhali in 1946-47 and considered it as Gandhi's finest hour. Churchill is one of the most outstanding statesmen of the 20th century and one of the most popular Britons because of his determination and courage to keep alive the spirit of freedom in Britain and for rallying his people and the beleaguered Allied forces to fight against Hitler at a time described as the darkest hour. He led Britain to victory in the Second World War, but he lost the elections subsequently to Attlee and the Labour Party. But his rigid and outmoded defense of the empire was a blemish in a life that was otherwise splendid. Thank you very much. Churchill had an illustrious pedigree hailing from a powerful aristocratic family. Pedigree, Pedagre. Pedigree means a family tree, a lineage. Aristocracy, Aristocracy. Aristocracy means nobility, a class of persons holding exceptional rank and privilege. Winston believed sincerely, like his father, that the British rule of India was both essential and beneficial as it rescued India from ages of barbarism, tyranny, and internecine war. Internecine, Internecine. Internecine means mutually destructive, ruinous to both sides. He stated categorically that loss of India would reduce Britain to the status of Portugal. Categorical, Categorical. Categorical means explicit and direct, without any doubt. He was sanguine that Muslims would remain loyal to the Raj as they fought Turkey under the British flag. Sanguine, Sanguine. Sanguine means optimistic, confident. His opinion of Indian leaders was extremely poor, describing them as men of straw. Man of straw means a person having no substance or integrity. Gandhi was amused when he came to know about Churchill's venom against him. Amused means think something is funny. Churchill, however, was of the view that Gandhi would replace the British Raj with a clique of Brahmins. CLIQUE, clique, means a small, close knit group of people who do not readily allow others to join them. Churchill's virulent attack on concessions to India alienated him from the mainstream of British politics. Virulent, VIRULENT, virulent means full of hate and violent opposition. The Japanese victories led to new anxieties. Gandhi opposed the Japanese entry into India, but he equally and vehemently opposed the continuation of British rule. Vehement, VEHEMENT, vehement means expressing strong feelings. The Charter promised the right of self determination to all subjugated nations after the war. Subjugate, SUBJUGATE, subjugate means bring under domination or control. Churchill is one of the most outstanding statesmen of the 20th century and one of the most popular Britons because of his determination and courage to keep alive the spirit of freedom in Britain and for rallying his people and the beleaguered Allied forces. Beleaguered, BELEAGURED, beleaguered means having a lot of problems and difficulties. Thank you very much.